Top Democrat now threatening journalist Matt Taibbi with jail time, claiming he contradicted his Twitter files congressional testimony ahead of this interview.
You also claim the EIP was partnered with the government Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, CISA, to censor Twitter. But you mix up CISA, CISA, a Homeland Security Agency, with the Center for Internet Security, the CIS.
Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett saw that interview and says, while these inaccuracies may seem minor to you, meaning Matt, they could lead Congress to rely on inaccurate testimony considering and/or passing new legislation which would impact all Americans. She is such an embarrassment. If you watch those hearings, you probably surmise that yourself. Matt Taibbi joins us now to expand on it. Matt, I watched those hearings. They didn't want to hear what you had to say and found out about Twitter, thanks to Elon Musk saying, come on and check this out and report what you want. But now they're attacking you. Over what mistake did you make?
So in one screenshot and one tweet, I looked at the acronym CIS and just had a brain cramp and thought they meant CISA, the Homeland Security Agency, and added an A in brackets in describing it. It actually was CIS. It was the Center for Internet Security. But the ironic thing is that all three of those groups, along with Stanford's Election Integrity Partnership, they actually are partners. So it was a very minor mistake.
So you came out and said, hey, listen, you were on another network and you said this. It's crucial to reiterate, EIP was partnered with state entities like CISA and GEC while seeking elimination of millions of tweets. That's the key. In the Twitter files, Twitter execs did not distinguish between organizations using phrases like according to CISA, CIS, and A, escalating to VIA and EIP. What does all this mean? Minor inaccuracy created. Now they want to say you're lying and they're going to look to jail you. But you said it's not just the Virgin Islands non-voting member. This has gotten bigger?
Well, the journalist Li Fang wrote in a couple of stories last week in his efforts to obtain this letter, which, by the way, I had never received. It was sent to me, but it never actually got to me. I had to learn about it in the news. But in the course of obtaining the letter, he found that it had been prepared, among other things, with the help of staff from Hakeem Jeffries and Gerald Nadler. So it sounds like the leadership might have been involved in preparing this letter, not just the one delegate from the Virgin Islands.
So you come out, you do this reporting, and you believe, and I believe in, because I read him, with you and Michael Schellenberger and Barry Weiss did, is some of those reporting you could do, regardless of what comes out. But instead of then going after you and saying, Matt, what did you find, and why did you conclude it, they came after you and basically said you're a so-called journalist, and they attacked your credibility, which is beyond reproach if you look at your background. But you're not done there. While you're testifying, somewhere in between, the IRS comes knocking at your door. They have a problem with 2 of your returns. Coincidence?
Yeah, you know, at first I was being naive. I thought, well, that has to be a coincidence because an IRS agent actually came to my door while I was testifying in Washington, and I thought there was no way that could be connected. And then when they actually told me what it was about, one of the problems was so ridiculous that it defied belief, really. They said that my 2018 electronic return, had been rejected. I think I would have heard about that in the intervening years if that was actually the case, but I hadn't. So that was one thing that happened. The IRS came, and after consulting with some people, I informed the committee, and yeah, we still don't know why exactly they came.
What are your thoughts? And now I understand between Substack and Twitter, there's a little bit of a fallout with you and Elon Musk. Can you explain that?
Yeah, there's a dispute between Substack and Twitter. Substack is creating a social media platform, Substack Notes, that I think Twitter feels is a threat to their business model. So they block links to Substack writers, or they throttle down links to those writers. And since I'm one of them, you know, I had an objection to that, and Elon and I had an argument over that, and that's unfortunate. It sounds like the Twitter files may or may not keep continuing. I hope he finds another reporter to keep doing the work, because it was really important.
Matt, final thought. Can you wrap your head around what has happened to your life over the last 3 months, from this incredible reporting to this huge, to all the pressure now on you personally. How have you responded? How are you dealing with it?
I'm dealing with it fine. I mean, I think this is part of the responsibility of being a reporter, is that you have to deal with whatever comes, and you can't show any fear or hesitation when people threaten you or try to dissuade you from doing this kind of work, which is why I feel like I have to continue. But, you know, as a parting thought, I know this is a cliche, but can you imagine if something like this had happened in the Trump years, if Republicans had threatened somebody like Jim Acosta with 5 years in prison over a minor error that you know he didn't even make in testimony before Congress? You would have had every human rights organization on earth complaining about it, but not a peep from my so-called colleagues in mainstream media over this outrageous abuse. It doesn't matter what journalist it is, they should be upset about it because it could be them next.
It could, Matt. And the other thing is, CNN would have gone 36 hours without a commercial with different various headshots of Jim Acosta being persecuted. It would have been unbelievable, but I think it's an apt comparison. Matt, thanks so much, and I look forward to staying in contact and seeing what you're working on and how you're fighting back.
Thanks so much, Brian.